LinkedIn is a powerful, powerful platform. One that I've fallen in love with year over year for many years now. But the reason why is because it lets me have an outlet for content. And like I've been saying over and over and over again, it's content that starts conversations. Now here is my final thought. This is my Jerry Springer final thought. This is what you need to know. And it could all come down to this, okay? Many moons ago, I wrote this equation out on a napkin and it has served me well. But the reason why it served me well is because it's actually an equation for success. Because you have all the content now. You have a good runway for success on how to create content that starts conversations and how to position yourself on LinkedIn to have more meaningful conversations. But this is where it usually falls off. Because you're probably watching this cert right now, this certification, and you've got a number of things that you've written down in a notebook. And here's the thing that I hope doesn't happen. I hope that it's not some dusty notebook someday with ideas that you kind of had once. I hope that you're going to actually do something, and that's really important. So check out this equation. I don't like math, okay? So this is one massive acronym, has nothing to do with math. If you're sitting there going like, I hate math, and you already tried to turn it off, it's not about math. Stay with me, okay? It's a big acronym, and we start from right to left because we're gonna start with where you ultimately wanna end up. So the V stands for vision. Vision is so important. It's so important to understand how you want to use the information that you're learning right now and where you want to go. In fact, I don't know about you, but if you're like me, I have tons of opportunities in my life. I have too many, right? The most successful people I've ever been around in my life can say no to great opportunities, not just good ones, but great opportunities. And the only reason they can do that is because they know where they're going. So if you know what's happening with this content and how you want to use this platform and the rest of these social platforms, and you have a real plan and a vision for where you want to go and what you want to do, then you can actually get hyper-focused and turn down all the other stuff. Turn it all the way down and focus in on exactly what's going to help you get there. And if it doesn't help you get there, it's super easy to say no. And that's how you know that you're successful. Now check this out. PBC. Positive behavioral change. Sounds really technical. Yes, it totally does. Positive behavioral change is a psychology phrase, which means doing the hard things. So if you set a goal for yourself, you set vision for yourself, you're going to use all of this, not have a dusty notebook by the time we're done doing this, then you're going to have to make the hard decisions every single day to follow a content plan, right? I always tell my wife, it's funny, every New Year's, I always say, I'm going to go to the gym more. I'm gonna lose some LBs, right? And then I'll sleep in. Or I'll make an excuse and say, I need a Livestrong band and I need the right shoes or whatever. No. Have you ever met this is funny. Have you ever met like an extreme sports person or like an Iron Man or an Iron Woman? Have you? Yeah. I'm not talking about like annoying CrossFit people. I'm talking about like an iron person. And I'll tell you what's really crazy is that if you ever actually talk to them about how they reach their goals, they would like run barefoot through a wall. It would never be about the shoes or an excuse. If you're hyper focused and hyper motivated and you're willing to do the hard stuff, then the vision is 100% validated. If it's not, and you're not willing to do the hard stuff, come up with a new vision. Come up with a new strategy on how to use all this social stuff, right? Now, the next one's goals. That's the G that you see. Now, we're terrible goal setters. Like I said, New Year's resolutions, typically the only time we actually set goals. And guess what? When do gym memberships go up? January. When do they go down? February. Unless you're locked in and they don't refund your money, which is a whole different story. But I'll tell you right now that G is going to be goals. What do you want to get out of this thing? Okay? What do you want to learn here? What do you want to implement? What is the goal? You got to write them down. That's the secret. My wife hates me because I use dry erase markers and I write all over all of our mirrors at home because I like to see it. If you don't see the goal, then you won't do it. Every single day I get up and I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. Or the night before I write out, this is what I'm going to do. And every morning when I wake up, I get to see it. So if you're going to implement any of this stuff, you got to write down goals for it. You got to say, I'm going to do this every single day. I'm going to spend an hour inside my content plan. I'm going to post. I'm going to start conversations. I'm going to follow up. I'm going to do the hard things that get me where I want to go, which is way more connections with way more people having way more meaningful conversations, right? And so SK stands for skills and knowledge, which is what you're doing now. Skills and knowledge is amazing. On its own, it isn't the X factor. All these things on their own are not the X factor, okay? Skills and knowledge is what you put in your brain. It's all of this information, right? But I've met a lot of really well-educated, unsuccessful people in my lifetime, right? It's not the degree on your wall, Okay, that's not what's going to get you successful. It's putting the right stuff in and hopefully replaces some bad stuff too. And I think that's funny. It's like I always think about like a glass of dirty dishwater, like sitting in the sink. I don't know if I'm the only person that has that kind of murky, yucky, you know what I'm talking about, that thing. And then you turn on the faucet, right? Have you ever done that? You turn on a faucet with that murkiness and let it run. What happens to the water? Yeah, it eventually becomes clear. And so the more stuff that you're putting inside your brain right now that's getting you where you want to go, it replaces, it rejuvenates. It's awesome. So what you're doing right now by learning and sitting here and taking the time to implement these things and start conversations using really good content on LinkedIn and using it as a vehicle to push you forward, you are way ahead of the game, okay? But these things are not good on their own. Okay? Because you can have a great vision. You can literally change everything, do the hard things. You can write all your goals all over your mirrors and you can go to Harvard or Cambridge or wherever you want to go in the world. But that doesn't make you successful at this. What's going to make you successful is the A. And the A stands for action. The A stands for action because it's a multiplier. If you take A into all of these things, it means that you're actually going to implement this stuff. Content without implementation is completely dead. If you go and you right now take what you've learned from here and you implement it, you take action, you go and you actually do what all of these people are talking about in these certifications, you are going to be way ahead of the game because most people are limited by the action. They rely way too much on this stuff. So that's my final plug to you, okay? That is it. I want you to take action. I want you not to have a dusty old notebook. I want you to take action right now. I want you to sit down and implement these strategies and these methodologies to help you and your business grow. Man, I'm so thankful. Seriously, I'm so thankful that you took the time. I know we're all busy, but you took the time to sit down and listen to me ramble and ramble and ramble about things that I feel like I'm passionate about. And hopefully you're passionate too. And my hope is that you take this information and you do extraordinary things in your life and in your business. Thank you so much. If you want to get a hold of me, you can obviously find me on LinkedIn at Marcus A. Murphy / right there. Or you can go ahead and take a picture again of this QR code and I'd be happy to connect with you. And if you have any questions, feel free to connect and reach out to me directly. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day.